The Earth is young, and yet there's a calculation that the Earth is 4.56 billion years old. That calculation goes back to 1956, and it's based on dozens of assumptions. Many assumptions are underlying that data and equations. And the first to which I would object would be that the statement that God does not exist. That is the presupposition statement for the what is underlying the whole system of the calculation for the Isochron method. I disagree with that statement. The creation is it is self-evident. And furthermore, you have to assume that the Diablo Canyon meteorite found in Arizona represents the original concentration of lead-uranium ratio in the formation of the solar system. But you don't have to know what that ratio is. You just have to assume that that particular meteorite does represent that ratio. There's dozens of other assumptions that go into it, into the equation, and for those assumptions, most of them are not correct. But it is out there. It's a tight method. The Isochron method is explained in the paper by Patterson. You should probably read that paper. Concurrently, you want to read the book by Dalrymple, which explains the whole history of the calculation of the age of the Earth, all of the different methods, the many, many methods that have been rejected because they're not true up to the current day, the present set of calculations which scientists currently accept, but which still do not provide enough time for the Earth to cool to 55 degrees and allow for DNA to be formed by random accident. It's statistically impossible for that to occur. It just didn't happen. So I would suggest that you research completely this issue. You want to be objective. You want to get the book by Ashton, John Ashton, so that you're reading both sides. You want to get the book of Genesis and Exodus from the Bible to get that beautiful, short, summary story that we see in most of the ancient religions, which encompasses a universal flood that is really aggravating to proponents of evolution. So I don't think that the evolution theory will survive a whole lot longer, but we'll see how that plays out. So, my opinion, you don't want to be someone who is, without research, holding on to the 4.56 billion year calculation of scientists. You want to be a little more objective than that. You should do the research. If you're a Christian who believes the short, young age of the Earth without doing the research, you're probably in the same category as those scientists. And if you're a Christian who believes that the Earth is old, as the scientists do, then you're not very strong in your convictions. And you should also do some exploration in this area. This is a rabbit hole that doesn't have a bottom to it. You can study for years and years. You're not going to find something that's going to give you a firm date for the age of the Earth, primarily because you can't date a sedimentary rock, because sedimentary rocks are formed from pre-existing particles. They don't give you an age date. And you can't date a metamorphic rock because it's formed by heat and intense pressure with lots of energy coming into that system. It is not a closed system and can't give you a realistic date. Igneous rocks you can chase down through the world in random locations and get igneous rocks which you can pulverize the zircon crystals from them, take them to a specific machine in Washington, D.C., owned by the USGS, and blow oxygen on them and end up with a ratio of isotopes that'll give you age consistent with what you're looking for. And by the way, you get to throw out any rocks or any date that you don't like, and because those are not representative, so it helps you achieve the desired result that you're looking for. So do the homework, watch the YouTube videos, download the paper by Patterson from 1956, get the books by Dalrymple and John Ashton. You want to read them, read Genesis and Exodus. And I hope that your search will lead you to some realization. There will be a lot of interesting things that you'll find along the way, and a lot of benefit will come to you from searching this rabbit hole down to the very bottom. I hope that this video has been worth 15 minutes of your time.